Hello Clueless Cooks, and welcome back to Clueless Cooking 101, where I'm clueless and you, the beginner, are clueless too. So let's get started and let's have some fun in the kitchen. Welcome back Clueless Cooks and beginners. For July, again, this is salad month and picnic month, so I'm going to teach you today, or we're going to learn, I should say, how to make pasta salad, also known as macaroni salad, and we're going to do it like pretty simple, but I'm going to add a couple of secret ingredients that will make it different and better. And one of the things that we have to do is boil some pasta just to get it cooked. But first, I'm going to show you the stuff at Walmart that I bought for the macaroni salad. It's really easy. First thing, so this is organic brown rice and quinoa pasta. This is penne. You can use regular elbow macaroni or twisty things. It doesn't really matter what shape it is. In the topping, I'm going to use some organic mustard and obviously some sour cream to mix with the mustard. And I'm going to use a little bit of sriracha, which I forgot to get out, because you know I always use sriracha. I'm going to put some capers in there, like those at Walmart. I'm going to put some chopped organic celery in there. My good friend parsley, we're going to put some chopped parsley in there. And we're going to use these were organic eggs, and I cheated and I hard-boiled these already, so just have to clean them. And then we're going to use 1 organic onion chopped. Hey Clueless Cooks, sorry to interrupt this episode. I know you're probably looking at your social media feeds, so since you're already doing that, check us out. Check out Clueless Cooking 101 on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, Substack, and I even have a blog. We have videos and written posts. So check us out on all those social media sites, and we'd love to hear your comments. I have to get the pasta boiling, and I like to use the chicken bone broth that we made, but not 100% of it. So we're going to use 6 cups of liquid. 4 cups of that is going to be bone broth, and 2 cups of it is going to be like filtered water. So I'm going to get going on that. Okay, so here's the bone broth. The reason that I cook the pasta in the bone broth is it just gives it some additional flavor, because pasta can be bland. And we're going to use 4 cups of my famous organic chicken broth that I think is from our 2nd or 3rd episode. But you can also, this is 32 ounces, you can buy a 32-ounce box of organic chicken broth or bone broth. I'm not 100% sure. I always buy bone broth because it's higher protein, but it might be called chicken stock. I don't remember. So there you go. There's like 6 cups of broth, of liquid for our pasta. We're going to turn that on high. Whoops, wrong burner. Just kind of move it up there. I think I bought this stainless steel pan at a thrift store for like $3 or $4. And you can do that too. So let's get going on the ingredients for the pasta salad. We're going to have all of these like things that we have to chop, and while the pasta is cooking, we're going to chop our stuff. Okay? Hey Clueless Cooks, another interruption. If you will check out my website, which is cluelesscooking101.com, I'd really appreciate it. We have a blog with some recipes, and we also are going to have merchandise coming up soon so that you can have a cool apron like mine. But in the meantime, just check out our website, and I'd really appreciate it. We'll see you there. Okay, welcome back, Clueless Cooks. The first thing that we're going to do while we're waiting for this liquid mixture to start boiling so we can cook our pasta, and by the way, we're going to use 3 cups of pasta, a dried pasta, and then toss it in there. But the first thing that we're going to make up is, I'm going to call it dressing, but whatever that is that once we get all the ingredients for the for the macaroni salad or pasta salad. Once we get all of that in this bowl and put the macaroni in, then we're going to toss it together. So the first thing that we're going to do is make the dressing. And of course, you know, we use our Walmart sour cream. I'm going to use 1 cup of that. Wherever the cup is, oh, it's probably still over here. Yep. Okay. I'm going to use 1 cup of sour cream. And put it in this. I'm going to put this in this smaller container because that's just for the dressing that we put on top of this pasta salad. I have a couple of ingredients, so I put it in here and make it up first. I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of organic Dijon mustard. That's this is a Walmart brand, and somehow or another this little lid pops open. There we go. I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of organic mustard. And even if you don't like mustard, chances are pretty good that you won't taste a lot of it once you get everything mixed together. And then, of course, you know, my secret ingredient is sriracha. It's just a force of habit. I'm going to put in a teaspoon of sriracha just to give it a little pop. It's a big spoon for a little teaspoon. All right. Our standard 1 teaspoon of pepper, and we're going to go ahead and put that in the dressing, just because it's a little easier. So there we go. Just gonna, and this is ground organic pepper from Walmart. It's McCormick's. I just transferred it into this thing because I broke the lid, and I thought it was about time I got a shaker. Next time I'll have my little Clueless cooking stickers on it, and they'll look a lot better. All right, so we're going to stir all this stuff together. Okay, I think this is it, and I know that technically I'm not supposed to put my finger in it and taste it, but that's what home cooks do and Clueless cooks do. Is it's going to work. Okay. So the topping is out of the way, and so the next thing is we're going to put our other ingredients in this big bowl so that we can mix it all together. I have to go back, and we're going to do 2 tablespoons of capers. You don't have to add those, but they are kind of salty. Makes it very interesting. And I get these at Walmart. The next thing that we're going to do is add, how many of these are we going to do? Okay, here's our 1/4 cup of chopped pickles. And again, you can use relish that's already chopped, or you can use whatever kind of pickles you want. They don't have to be Wickles. You can use sweet, dill, whatever you like. I just use these because they have a kick, but they are a little bit more expensive. Okay. Next thing that we're going to chop is a whole onion, never without onions. And this is an organic yellow onion. I get them in a bag at Walmart. They have this little station with a bunch of different organic things in it. And they normally have bags of onions and bags of lemons, and they have cherry tomatoes and all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to chop this onion with you, because I never assume that clueless cooks know how to chop an onion. But we do take the skin off because we don't eat that. And I've been told that you do not put onion skins in your garbage disposer because garbage disposers do not like onion skins. I have hard-boiled eggs too, and I'm leaving those till last because I'm avoiding peeling these eggs because, you know, they can be a pain. Sometimes they peel just fine, sometimes they don't. I would put this onion in my fancy, you can put it in your little fancy chopper. I like slightly bigger pieces. If you get anything that's slimy or hard to cut, go ahead and just toss it out because you don't want that in your salad. All right. All right. Pop quiz, does anybody remember who said they were like an onion and you have to peel back the layers to get to know this person? And 3, 2, 1, it's one of the few things I remember from movies. Shrek said that. If you remember, Shrek was a big green ogre that didn't have very good social skills. But he learned them eventually. Okay, so we have our ½ cup of onions. Now we're going to do a 1/4 cup, another 1/4 cup of chopped parsley. And, you know, if you don't like parsley, you don't have to add it, but I highly recommend it because, as you know, it's high in iron and doesn't have a lot of flavor. But you can definitely taste it. It's slightly bitter. Okay, we're going to have a little bit more than a 1/4 cup because of the amount that I chopped, but that's just because there's more than a 1/4 cup, but I'm going to say 1/4 cup of fresh chopped parsley or dried, whichever you prefer. And I'm going to use this. When you scrape stuff, by the way, when you scrape stuff off of your cutting board into your bowl and you use your knife, which you're not supposed to use, I always use the edge of the knife that's not the cutting edge because I've read that that's a really bad idea. Okay, the next thing that we're going to put in here is a ½ cup of chopped celery. And you know me, I just take it right off the top. All right, okay, so I'm going to change my mind and we're going to use a ½ cup of chopped celery. Because a 1/4 wasn't enough. I guess I don't have the 1/4 cup thing down yet. And we can use a little bit more. You can cut this as small or as large as you want, and you can put it in your food chopper if you want. I just like bigger pieces. You get the flavor. And celery is part of the dirty dozen. The people that are into health and wellness will tell you absolutely your celery must be organic. Okay, 1/2 cup of organic celery. And we're going to check and see if our liquid is boiling yet. You have to excuse me for a minute because I'm going to attempt to peel these 2 hard-boiled eggs, and you know how they come out. Sometimes you get a whole egg, sometimes the egg sticks to the shell. I don't know what makes it do that. I know probably real chefs or real cooks know why, or know how to boil eggs better than me, and I'm going to look it up on the internet, and we'll work on that in a future episode. I'll be right back. Okay, Clueless cooks, these eggs peeled really fast. I got lucky. They came out whole. So what I do is I cut them in half. We're going to pour in our pasta, and three cups of pasta. And that goes in here, and we're going to cook it al dente, and I think the directions say in a large pot, 8 to 9 minutes. And that's because this is probably brown rice pasta. Okay, with regard to chopping our eggs, I leave the yolks in. And then, after I quarter them and cut them lengthwise, I also do a little bit more chopping, so they're smaller pieces. Eggs are really easy to chop. Notice I'm using the same knife for everything. And maybe there's a different knife for other stuff or for different things, but this one fits my hand and I like the way it feels, so I use it. So I'm just kind of curious. I'm wondering how much chopped egg is actually really here. I know it's 2 whole eggs, and it's looking like about 3/4 of a cup. If for some reason you want to know how much there is, it's about 3/4 to 1 cup. You can use a cup, and it's quite all right. Okay, we're going to take a little break. Wait for this pasta to cook, and we'll be back, put it all together. Welcome back, Clueless Cooks. We're a couple of minutes away from the pasta being done, which means I've been cleaning up the kitchen. But it's about 8 or 9 minutes for this particular penne to cook. We're gonna go check it. I think it's done. We're gonna drain it off, pop it in here, mix in the dressing that we made. That's what it looks like. Sour cream and mustard and a little bit of sriracha. And we're going to test this. This is the way that you actually test pasta or macaroni or whatever you want to call it. It should be chewy, but it shouldn't be hard. And this is done. We boiled 3 cups of pasta in 5 cups of liquid. 4 of it was bone broth, and that bone broth actually infuses into the chicken bone broth. It infuses into the pasta, makes the pasta taste a little bit different. You can just use straight water, but I like the added bone broth. Some people wait until their pasta is cool for the sake of being impatient. I do not. I pour it right in and put all of that in our bowl. And then, last but not least, the topping that we made, the dressing that we made at the beginning. We're going to mix it all up, and that should be it. Hey, you know what I forgot to put in? My secret ingredient, 1/4 cup of seeds. And I've already put the 1/4 cup in the dishwasher. So I'm going to take the top. And that's a 1/4 cup-ish. And I'm going to stir that in because I like the texture. And of course, like most other salads, you can add poppy seeds. They're always really good in a salad. I've got this mixed up. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle a little salt on here. I would say a 1/2 teaspoon max. Go ahead and stir it in. And if you prefer to cook salt-free, then your guests, if it doesn't, salt just gives it a little bit of a pop. And your guests can also sprinkle it on here. This makes a great side dish for any entree that you make at home. And you'll certainly be impressive if you take it to a picnic or as a salad or to a potluck or whatever. You'll be a hit because it's really good. It just needed a teeny tiny bit of salt. So that's what your macaroni salad looks like. You can use elbow macaroni. I can't find it gluten-free. Or if I do, I don't like something about it. But I buy this what's it called? Penne. And also, I'll be right back. I'm going to show you something else that I've bought. For those of you with type 2 diabetes or on like a super low carb diet, there are a couple of different companies that make pasta out of a plant. And it has like almost no calories, almost no carbs. It's keto friendly, it's gluten free, it's sugar free. Anyway, this is linguine and I use this, but they also make, I think they also make elbow macaroni. They also might make rice out of it. Anyway, what we're going to do is put this in a container, and that's it for our episode on macaroni salad. Happy July. This is picnic food, but it's a year-round food for any Clueless cook as a side or as a salad. And pair it with an entree, pair it with a burger or whatever else. It's just a perfect summer food. So thanks again for joining me, Clueless Cooks. If you have any questions or comments, remember to mark them in the comment section below. And I 100% guarantee that I'll answer. And if you make this, let me know how yours turned out. And I'd be willing to have a contest. I bet mine's really good, and I'll bet yours is going to be too. So thanks again. We'll see you the next time on Clueless Cooking 101. Okay, Clueless Cooks, something that you didn't expect. It's contest time, and I bought this really neat set of kitchen knives, and it has a peeler, 4 knives, and a set of kitchen scissors in there, and they're really high-end, very nice. I've already tried them out. They work great. So anyway, you know, we're growing Clueless Cooking 101 organically, and we're up to 100 subscribers. And so the contest that we're having is to double our subscribers to 200. So if you will share this video with your friends and ask them to subscribe, it'll help me out a whole lot. If you want to leave a comment in our YouTube section about sharing this, liking it, and encouraging people to subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And it'll probably be a couple of weeks, and somebody's going to get this wonderful set of knives. So help us get to 200, please. Hey, Clueless Cooks. Thanks a bunch for joining me on this episode of Clueless Cooking 101. And I invite you to like and subscribe Clueless Cooking 101 on YouTube. And be sure to send your comments and recipes because I'll 100% reply. See you next time.